This is not a time for on-the-job training. It's a time for someone to come in with the experience and the ability to bring Democrats and Republicans together to get our country back on track and moving in the right direction. Every issue we talked about this evening will depend upon bipartisan cooperation, or it won't happen. It will be gathered again 4 years from tonight, talking again about these problems, only they'll be even more serious then, because we didn't elect the leadership that could make a difference for our country. So I am pleased to have the opportunity this evening to make that case. Any questions?
Senator, you've worked for a long time in the Senate on these labor issues. We've got millions of working Americans that are still working poor, but they work 2-3 jobs in order to make ends meet. What would your policies be if you were elected president?
Well, I didn't get a chance to answer that question tonight, but I happen to believe Ben Bernanke, of all people, the chairman of the Federal Reserve Board, speaking in Omaha about a year ago, made the case eloquently. The declining number of union households in this country has directly contributed to the widest gap in income in over 80 years in this country here. Less than 8% of the private sector is organized in this nation. That alone would make a big difference in moving forward. If we expanded the child tax credit here to reach into the levels of the poor in this country, you could put as many as 7 million kids, take them out of poverty in this country. If you did the same thing with the earned income tax credit, you could make a difference for 2.5 million children. That's almost 10 million children out of the 36 million living in poverty in this country here. Those simple things alone, I think, could get us moving forward in terms of closing that gap on income disparity that exists. Well, again, it has to be across the board here in the country. We've got to deal with some of these issues that don't get attended to in the past here. And that is that universality where everyone gets drawn in. Most of the plans that are being talked about here this evening, with the exception of Dennis's plan, are not really universal. I don't agree with his plan. But you've got to have a plan that does include everyone in this country so that you have that risk spread out, so you're dealing with these underlying causes of chronic illness, some of which are exclusive, almost exclusive to the minority community.